Welcome to Caching Waves. This is an Elliott Wave update for RUNE. Now, it's been a while since I've updated this, so I just wanted to do a deep dive into the current correction, show you where I currently have us as well as my primary count. Now, as the primary count, if this holds as a 1-2, we have another 1-2. Eventual targets for our third wave topside is the 1.618 extension, which is up at $683. Now, do we get that? Time will tell, but we're taking it wave by wave. I'm not claiming that. I'm just saying if this is a 1-2, our standard extension for our third wave is that 1.618, and it tends to work on log scale on crypto, but we can always go to linear, which would be a much closer target. That would be at $34, so we're going to see which one we get. Now, off that first wave one, we had an ABC correction as a zigzag. We had a diagonal A running flat for our B wave and 5 waves down for our C wave with a triangle fourth. We also hit the 1.382, where C is 1.382 times the length of the wave A, which is a common target. Now, off that low, we also have our channel hit at the 786 and that 382, and then we reversed in an impulse to the upside. Now, good things about this is we have broken above the top side of this channel. I'd like to see us stay above that, but I'm going to talk about this correction as well to show you how we stay above that. Now, on the 4 hour, this was a very difficult count. I've had to relabel it a couple times, go over it a bunch. It's just a little bit erratic. The best way to count this wave one is like so: 1, 2, 3, short, fourth, fifth for our wave one. I don't like this as a diagonal for this 1-2. The correction's just too short, and you can see we have a flat correction for our wave two and a zigzag for our fourth, so we have alternation there and about the same amount of time, our fourth a little bit longer. This fits better. So we have our wave 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, very extended in that micro third there, but we did come to the 1.618 extension of wave 1 off of wave 2, labeled as a flat. That's more evidence that this is the correct count. After that, we target the 1-to-1 extension of wave 1 off of wave 4. Throw on the 1-to-1. And you can see we pretty much hit that to a T. Now, the difficult part was this wave. I was expecting more upside for one more wave because we did not appear to have 5 complete there, but it was a very short trade. I think it was down in this zone in March. We were just like right there. And I think I lost 1% on that one, but we did get this move as well, as we saw this diagonal and this flat. So we did get all that move in previous videos. But the only logical way to count this fifth wave it says a 1-2 with a flat. You can get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, and then some sort of diagonal here, or even one more wave up and a diagonal. But it's really ugly. It's really rare you see that what looks like a fourth wave. So when it happens, you just have to say it's a rare structure. But it does appear we have a 5-wave impulse based on all that. You can see we also hit right between our expected zone, the 200 and 2.36 of wave 1 off of wave 2. So as far as I'm concerned, that is completed. You can also see early indications that our wave is complete coming outside of our pitchfork. So as of right now, I'm looking at this correction. I did throw on the 618 and the 1-to-1 in time of this entire 5-wave move, which is our zone right over here. Now that's more of a guideline. It doesn't have to happen. Sometimes it's a little shorter. Sometimes it's a little longer. That's just a guideline just to keep us aware of when a potential correction is complete. Now, as of right now, these are a series of 3. It's very unclear which one is happening. Now, my alternate count right now, let me make that white, is that we are making a zigzag. Now, if we do this, I'm not a big fan because we wouldn't stay above this larger channel. I'd like to stay above that to keep the market as bullish as possible, but this is also just as valid as what I'm going to explain. And that would be, we have a series of zigzags as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for an A wave, come up for our B wave. We'll have to re-pull the fibs, look between the 382 and the 618, and then look for another 5-wave move, right, as an ABC. And that would complete our larger 1, 2. Well, that's just my alternate count right now. I do believe we'll come higher just based on the rest of the market. But my primary is we have an A wave complete. Now in this scenario, can also be a W wave, but we'll call it an A wave for now. And what I would expect is potentially another move up, and this becomes a 5-wave move, sideways consolidation, and looking for a C wave move to the upside as an ABC. Now, minimum targets to be a flat is 1005.6. That's where we'd get this B wave. And we'd look for our C wave to complete. Now, if we get more complex and more 3-wave patterns, similar to Jasmy, if we get an ABC 1-to-1, we come back, get another ABC, and we come above the 5th wave. Remember, our B waves can come pretty high, and they're very difficult to count the correction possible. So we can come as high as 1887 to keep this B wave valid. It's 1.236 and the 382, but minimum is the 1056. We're not going to know which one is there unless we have a completed correction. We can come all the way up to this zone, then look for a 1-to-1 of this A wave for the C wave. Now this is what I prefer. I like that scenario the best. And the C wave can happen fast. It can be faster than this A wave. Just like a quick sell-off. Similar to this. Or similar to this. This was an expanded flat. Very fast drop and then recover. So I'm going to be mapping this out and following this one along. But it does look very nice in the future for a big move to the upside. Now, the only way we're complete is if we had the correction complete here. It would be more of a WXY. Be more like a ABC, tiny X, ABC, potentially. But I don't really see a bottom in currently. But if we do make 5 waves up, I am interested in a long, because our minimum I like to see is about the 30%. And we've come past that. That's if the market's extremely bullish. That's the only way I would consider a complete count. And obviously we're not going to know whether this is an A or a, if we get 5 here, we're not going to know if this is a 1 or an A. What's more important is what happens after, right? How high do we come? What extensions do we have? But we wouldn't miss much of the move because say we get the long there, we'd target the 1-to-1, take our profit. And if it comes to the 1.618, that's fine. And then we look for a sideways consolidation, could probably get the 5th. And if we get a nice clean 5 wave, that's our buy, right? As a 1-2 within the 3rd. So it's not like you miss much. You still get this move. As long as we're tracking it. But it doesn't look like we have 5 waves yet. I'm going to wait and see what happens because I'm completely aware that this can happen too, right? And that becomes an A wave. But yeah, very interested in RUNE again. It looks very good. And if we do get those higher upside targets, it looks very strong, right? The only issue, the difficult part was that wave in there. Very ugly. All right, guys, so that's it for RUNE. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.